Hello, so carrying on with the Python tutorial, we're going to move on to some more advanced stuff. So we've covered quite a bit of the basic or core parts of Python, but now we need a new environment to work in, because the one we were working in before, idle, is not suited for building large structures of code. It's more like quick calculations and stuff like that. So we're going to use an IDE called PyCharm, which is developed by a company called JetBrains. Company name is pretty interesting, JetBrains. Pretty cool. But they make pretty good IDEs. So the one I'm talking about is for Python. They do one for Java, which is pretty good. I forgot what the name was, but yeah, you want to download this PyCharm, what they've got. Download the free one, because obviously the professional one is great, but you have to pay for it. So get the free one. Wait for that stuff to download. Alright, I'll cut recording now and then just jump back here when the downloading is done. So we're finally back and it's finished downloading, so I'm just going to open it up. Just look through it and so I finished installing PyCharm and it greets me when I open PyCharm with this menu. Now, when you want to get started, you want to create a new project, so let's create one. Now, let's navigate to a project folder that I want to specify this to. So, I made a folder called Python Projects, and in that, I'm gonna just make a new folder, call it YouTube Tut. So shorthand for YouTube tutorial, and we'll use that as our default project. So when that, and one thing to bear in mind is that we're going to create a virtual environment. Now I haven't spoken about that yet, and I think it's a bit more complicated to talk about it right now because we don't know all the concepts of Python, but just think of it as a way of making a Python environment, so the way you use Python, and making it into a small packaged version. That's basically how it works, and it's pretty useful, but for now just ignore it. But just make sure you got ticked down new environment using virtual environment. Make sure the location is specified to your project, and then /venv, and the base interpreter points to your Python path, so where Python is supposed to be installed. It should be, by default, it should find it. If you have any issues, just let me know in the comments. So let's create that project and then let it do its thing for a bit, and it'll give us this. So just if you want to test it, you can press it. By default it'll give you a main file, and the main file will show you how to run a Python project. Has some kind of helpful hints here. So if you want to run this, it should say hi with the name of PyCharm. So if you run it, yep, and if you run it here, yeah, okay, you can see it ran it as well. Now, assuming that your environment is not this dark color, I believe when you first install Python, it will ask you whether you want the light theme or the dark theme. So there you can specify it. But let's say you set a theme you don't like, then you can go to your settings and then do appearance and then change that to this, which is, good God, this hurt my eyes. I don't know why anyone would want this. This is not my cup of tea. Dracula is more my preferred. Soft is good contrast between lettering and background. And you can change the font as well. So you can change it here. You can also change the font. So you can change the font either on this text menu, and that's usually what this specifies. You can change the font of the editor itself. So if I go here, so this font correlates to this. So just bear that in mind, the appearance and behavior. From there the font changes this part, the icons and here, and the font in the editor changes this bit and the console. Yeah, okay, and color schemes, but I think just leave it at Dracula. It's a quite a nice font, quite a nice color, nice lettering, everything's good. Alright, that pretty much covers this. In the next tutorial, I'll tell you how to go about debugging. So for now, bye bye.